Okay. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Take One with me, Silverfilter. And now we're um, picking up from where we left off with part one of how to do your DIY release. Now, uh, I'm trying out a different setup now. That's why I'm wearing headphones. So this is I'm just trying this out. So um, I'm using a camera now. I'm using a GoPro camera for my video, and I'm continuing to use my um, Rode podcaster mic. So I hope that the sound is okay through your speakers right now. Um, I'm going to talk about my second release. This is my full length remix album entitled Interpreter Volume 1. And just recently, I released Volume 2 of this, which is a download. So you can also download it for free. Oh, and you can just visit my website at silverfilter.com and you can download the whole album for free. Anyway, moving on, we have our CD here. Okay, this is pretty much it. And as you can see, if we open the CD, we have our see-through cover here. Okay, and then we have our mirror finish CD here. Okay, it's actually confusing, and you don't know which side is which. So that's why I I had to put another text here. I came up with a little logo here. Okay, so let's just go first with the easiest, which is the CD case. Okay, if you watched part one, don't forget to click on part one if you haven't seen that yet, just so that you can follow. Um, I went with red for part one. So now, when I did my second album, I was thinking of something still different. Something that still appears as though it wasn't DIY or done at home. So I figured, why not make something that's see-through. Okay, so I came up with this idea of doing a clear CD. So I looked for this particular case. Okay, so I actually love this particular release. You have our clear clear case here, and then um, okay, I went with this. Now, I don't know where you live, but or what stores you have in your area, but I kinda had a hard time looking for this particular CD type of CDR. So I actually went out and had to buy it somewhere far from where I live. So I live in the south, and I actually bought this all the way in Green Hills, and I had to search for it. So, well, that was around that time. So I'm sure maybe you can find this in your local CDR King, or anywhere that sells CDRs. And then I bought um, transparency markers that I used for the logo here. Then I did my logo one by one per CD. Okay. Now let's move on to our cover. Okay. So you can see here, we don't have the luxury of doing a back-to-back since it's see-through. So everything's seen here. Okay, everything's already here. We have our cover, or my main cover design, and then the album title, and then my artist logo, and then the track list, including the artists. And then at the very bottom, I also included the copyright label, some other stuff like in my website, just for promotion, and so that people can also pick up the details that I had to leave out since I didn't have enough room. Okay, so what's this cover all about? Okay, I just came up with the idea of printing it on transparencies. That I'm sure everyone's familiar with transparencies since high school during your science classes. And what I did was I came up again with a design. So if you can see, I don't know if you can see the design. Okay, wait. Okay, so oops, I'll just use this instead. Okay, so if you can see the design here, okay, it looks like there's a pathway, but it's basically a letter I that's been angled. Now, if you're familiar with if you watched part one, in the meantime was also something like that. It was designed in such a way that it's more seen at a particular angle or perspective. So this is the same approach that I did with interpreter. So this is how I did it. So there's an I. Okay. All right. Now that's with the design out of the way. I then printed it out on. This is what I wasn't able to elaborate in part one. I printed the design on white paper. Okay, on white bond paper. Now, with the size of the cover, which is 4 by 75 by 4 by 75, I was able to print two two blocks or two panels onto one sheet. But this actually saves you paper and saves you money. So I was able to print two panels per sheet and on one white sheet of bond paper. Just get any, you can work with short one or a long one. It doesn't really matter. And then after I had my full my full bond paper size two panel design printed out, so that I treated that as my master. Okay, so when I had my master copy, I just went to, as I said in my first video, I just went to one of the nicer copiers around that you can find, and then there's also note that some copiers will be quite picky on the paper that you use, so some of them might not accept the job for you. So just be aware of that, okay? So I went to the same copier that I went to when I had in the meantime done, and since they accepted board paper to print on, I tried out if they accepted transparencies, and they weren't really um, they didn't actually reject me outright, but they gave it a try, and luckily it worked. So they took all the transparencies with them, and then I printed it out onto the transparency. So it's just photocopying that white sheet of paper onto your transparency. And that's how I saved money and came up with a see-through design for the cover. And then once again I paid them to cut it um per panel, just so that I won't have to do it. And since they have all the machinery and the gear, it was easier for them and it was quicker. So that's how I did Interpreter Volume 1. That's how I did my CD. And after this, actually, I didn't do any DIY type of thing, uh, just because I got busy. But anyway, I did one actually which I didn't sell, which was a giveaway during Christmas, and that was Silver Bell. and that's a free download for people. Uh, the people I gave it to for Christmas got the physical CD, but you can also get all the tracks on that CD by joining my mailing list over at Silverfilter in Yahoo Groups. So just go to Yahoo Groups and search for my group Silverfilter, and you can actually join my mailing list. And or you can just simply join straight and just go to my website at silverfilter.com, and you can join straight from there. And the link to download the whole Silver Bell album will be sent to you just for joining the mailing list. Okay, so that's it. This is how I did my my second album, and I'm sure there are many other ideas that you can come up with. Uh, Not just using transparency. It's really up to you if you want to use like um, recycled paper or whatever, just to make your DIY CD stand out among other DIY CDs. Oh, one more thing I'd like to add. I I tried. It was actually I was actually sticking. I actually bought and printed stickers for the CD because I didn't want to do the same um, logo, handwritten logo per CD for the second album. As you can remember, in the meantime, I printed some CDs out. Unfortunately, when I was sticking it on and the trying the CD out on inside my CD player, it seemed that the CD wasn't balanced. So I scrapped the whole idea after buying enough stickers for each CD. So unfortunately, I had to throw them out. But that's just one thing to note also, because I remembered, just because I'm sure in the in your effort to try to come up with new ideas, you might also think about putting a CD, a little sticker. So that's one thing to note. You might have problems with the balance of your CD. That's why other people just opt to go with a full CD sticker, and I wasn't really keen on that because I don't know, I wasn't a fan of the whole CD sticker. It just seemed so made at home type of thing, and so there I preferred just the main look of the CD and just worked with it. So there, I hope you picked up something just to work on your next DIY project. Just feel free to share the music, and I hope that you were able to get some insight into making your own and doing it on your own without needing to spend so much on replication and print professional printers. So there, thank you for watching, and if you feel like subscribing, please do so. I do a lot of tutorials and tips for production music and whatever music technology. So I thank you very much, and have a nice day. God bless.